Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. We're going to go for a little ride today because it's a lovely day at the end of October, and I thought I'd do a sort of road trip recap of some things that I've learned from our trip in France. They're not going to be the obvious things like, remembering to take your insurance and your vehicle registration document and all that sort of passport and stuff like that. They're the obvious ones. There's videos all over YouTube telling you what you need to take and what you don't need to take and stuff like that. This is stuff that I've learned based on our short 4-day trip to France. So stick around, come for a ride with me, and I'll tell you what I learned. So point one, expectations. And by that I mean, what do you want from the trip? Do you want to be doing an epic road trip covering thousands of miles in the time that you're away? Or do you just want a nice break but riding your motorcycle instead of driving, or instead of walking, or instead of cycling, or whatever? But do miles equal smiles? And by that I mean, do you need to be doing 500 miles plus a day to say you've been on a proper road trip? We were talking in one of our videos from our 4-day trip, and Paul was saying that he'd actually like to be able to just stop at the little bars and have a coffee or whatever, the ones along the side of the road in France. But you find that when you set yourself, and we were only doing 200 miles a day maybe, or just under 200 miles a day. So we're not doing an epic one, but even then, you start to, if you run out of time, because you've got to get to where you need to get to. So, you might be able to do one stop for a short break or whatever, and then that's it. That's all you can do. So I think you need to set your expectations to decide whether you want to do a long journey, or whether you want to break it up over shorter distances, but be able to stop and relax a bit more. I mean, I think in our next trip we're going to possibly do even less, and just shorten the days down so we could stop off and have a look around a bit more. I don't know. We might change our mind by then. It's got months before we go, so we'll just see what happens. So I think what you need to do is decide whether you're going to do a long way down, long way round, epic road trip, or whether you're just going to get on your bikes and go for a ride. So point two, navigation. Navigation. That old chestnut. If you've watched day 3 of our recent trip, you'll see the fun we had with navigation and the perils we had with the beeline and stuff. But I think there's a couple of questions you need to ask yourself before you go. Are you planning on a strict route? Are you going to stick to a strict route, or are you not? You just got a rough idea of where you're going, and from that you can work it out from there. But I think the one point the points that we took away from our trip was the beeline's all right. You know, I had the beeline here on at times. It seems to work fine in rural areas, but in a built-up area it's very hard to follow, because it seems to take a while to catch on, and all you've got is a little arrow, and we got ourselves in a right mess with that. That's something that I would definitely change for next time, because I'm going to be putting my phone on the bike, I think. But a lot of the problems we had really were Paul was using Google Maps on his phone, saying, well, we need to be going here, we need to be on this road. I was using the Beeline app, and I think that's something that you can't do. You need, if you've got multiple people that are using navigation, they all need to be using the same app or system. So you can't have one person using a Garmin, one person using a TomTom, one person using Google Maps, one person using a Beeline. You either need one person with a map running, and everyone follows that map, or you both need to be on singing from the same hymn sheet, so to speak. Day 2, when we just followed Phil had his sat-nav on his phone. We didn't go wrong at all. We had to stop a couple of times where Phil needed to just double check that he was on the right route, but we didn't get ourselves in the mess that me and Paul did. And I think that's a big thing to take away, is it doesn't really matter what navigation you use, as long as you're only using one, then I think you'll be all right. Don't worry, I haven't got lost. I wrote myself some notes for this video, and I can't remember what my point 3 was, so I just want to quickly read it again. Oh yeah. Okay. Point 3. Point 3 I've learned, and this is specifically for France possibly, but it could be the same for other countries, I don't know. But choose the days you travel. We decided to go over on a Saturday and come back on a Tuesday. And the problem with that is everything's closed on a Sunday in France. And it seems to be that a lot of things are closed on a Monday as well in France. So we'd stop at little towns or little villages, couldn't find anywhere to eat or drink or whatever. There's just less open. So I think you need to be aware of that, especially in France. Sundays are very difficult. Mondays are also difficult. But supermarkets are still open, you know, you can get something, but you're not going to be able to just pull up and stop and walk around a town, a small town. I don't know what the bigger towns are like, because we avoided them anyway, but it's just something that we'd bear in mind, that if we go again, I think we're probably going to go over and do sort of Thursday, Friday, or Friday and Saturday as our main. If we do another 4-day trip, that is, we'd go over on the Thursday. Friday and Saturday are our main 2 days, and then Sunday is coming home, because then it doesn't matter, because you know, you'll be on the ferry for a lot of that and coming back. But that's definitely something that I really wasn't aware of in France. And you take it for granted in this country that everywhere, you know, in the UK, that everywhere's going to be open on a Sunday. Everywhere's open. You can find coffee shops, bars, restaurants, everything's open on a Sunday. I didn't even think of that. So that's definitely something worth considering. Point 3 kind of leads us on to point 4 as well, really. Emergency food and drink. This is common sense. I probably haven't got enough common sense, because I didn't even give it a second thought. But you got a great big bag on the back of your bike. Chuck some food in there, chuck some drink in there, because then if you do stop and you can't find somewhere to eat or drink, you've got something to eat and drink to at least keep you going until you find somewhere that you can get something to eat. I think that would have solved a lot of our day 3 problems, where I was getting, I'll use the word upset, because I was hungry. But Phil, another more seasoned traveller than us, he had little protein bars and cereal bars and stuff like that in his bags, so he always had something that could keep him going if he had to. I didn't even give it a thought. That's something that I would definitely change on the next trip. Take some food with you. Even if it's just a packet of biscuits and a bottle of water, it's something. And then the 5th thing, memory cards, batteries. Memory cards, batteries, memory cards, batteries. I can't say it enough. Take too many. Take more than you need. If you're planning on filming it like I did, then take more than you need. Even if you're not planning on filming it, take battery charging packs, you know, so that you've always got something for your phone, to charge your phone if you need to. I had plenty. I had 3 battery packs, so I was all right there. But I found myself on day 2 not filming as much, because I was worried that the batteries would run out and also the memory cards would run out if I used too much. And then on day 4 I had to stop on the way home, and when we stopped I had to hunt through my memory cards to see how much see if I could find some with some space, because I was running out of space, or I actually did run out of space along the M27. Now, if I'd taken at least one card per day, I don't record it 4K. I record it 1440 and 2.7K. So 4K, I'd need to take even more cards. But if I took 6 cards basically, three for each camera. What I should have done is taken 8. And if I'd taken 8, then I would have been all right. I think I would have been able to put 1 in for each day, changed it every day, and I would have been fine. Maybe even 10, so that you got a spare one. But that, and batteries for the camera. This one's all right because it runs off. You can plug in an external battery pack to it and put it in your pocket. But the DJI, it's always a good idea to have extra batteries. I've got 1 spare battery, so I was having to charge them both up every night, make sure they were charged up. I'd probably buy at least 1 more, maybe another. They're only like, what are they, 25 quid? Between now and next summer I can buy a couple more of them. Yeah, so those are my 5 things to think about. Like I said, they're not always the obvious ones. You see lots of videos on YouTube where people have said, you know, what you need, what you must have, but this is stuff that I've realised just based on that short little trip that we did in August. And hopefully, if you're thinking of doing a trip, or even if you do trips, these are things that you may not have even thought of. If anyone's got any more sort of little tips like that, not the obvious, like I say, not like don't forget your vehicle registration document, don't forget your driving license, your insurance. These are obvious, but any other little hints and tips that anyone's got, drop them in the comments, because obviously I'm a real newbie. I've only ever done this once, so any little bits of advice are well received and gratefully received. So that's just about it for this video, really. I'll wrap it up there. Those are my 5 things that I've sort of thought about since we've got back. Things that I should have thought about before we went. But yeah, I hope they've been of some use to you. If you enjoyed the video, then give it a like, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be putting out a few more videos as often as I can. And it'd be lovely to have you all along for the ride. It'll be great. So till next time, ride safe, and I'll see you all later. Bye bye.